Mr. Onno, how are you, sir?
Very good. How are you?
I'm very well. So we started off with Morak, and we spent a little bit more time because he went first. We're gonna jump right into it.
Awesome.
And Onno, just for everyone to know, and please keep the chat firing if you want to give feedback, okay? And give feedback to the participant. Don't give me feedback. I don't need feedback. It's not my startup, okay? So don't turn around and say, Ash, I didn't like, I think you could have done this better. Morak, if you liked anything that I said, feel free to capture it, copy it. This is just for your development. And we want you to be amazing and have the right sound bites for your powerful 1-minute pitch. So, Onno, you're joining us, just so everyone knows, you're joining us from Malaysia, right? Are you in KL right now, Kuala Lumpur? Is that what?
No, I'm in St. Petersburg right now because of COVID, but the startup is based in Malaysia right now.
Okay, all right. Malaysian started St. Peter. Okay, global. Onno.
Indeed.
What we're going to do is we're going to hit the top. And you're going to fire with your amazing elevator pitch. Hopefully you've picked up on a couple of pieces that we spoke about with Morak. Mm-hmm. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. And I get to be an investor. Who am I going to be? I'm going to be a datuk. Okay, a Malaysian datuk. For those of you who do not know that, those are the people that are connected to royalty, correct? In Malaysia, okay? So I'm going to be a datuk. You can pitch me as a datuk today, all right? Okay. All right. Oh no, my name is Datuk Ash Singh. How are you doing today?
Hello, Datuk Ash Singh. Did you know that many people simply assume that sustainable delivery will be too expensive when ordering a product online? But in all reality, it's an option that's not even offered to consumers. So what if we could provide an alternative that's not only sustainable, but also fast and affordable? Our startup, Dioko, provides same-day delivery at next-day prices while doing that completely green. And how do we plan to do this and separate ourselves from our competitors? We have a unique approach by complementing electric vehicles with public transport. This gives us almost unlimited capacity while allowing us to avoid traffic congestion and increase our area coverage as we're not limited by battery range. Our initial focus will be Southeast Asia, which on its own already provides a $4 million opportunity, but our ambition doesn't end there, as we can scale our solution to other regions as well and address an untapped global $2 billion market opportunity for green last mile delivery. We already got the regulatory approval in our launch country and have signed our first few blue chip customers. We just need the money to start our pilot. So we're looking for the right investor. You seem to be a good fit based on the feedback from my network. Okay. I would love to have a more in-depth chat with you. Would you like to have a coffee?
Excellent. Thank you, Onno. I would love to. Thank you very much for that. All right, let's talk about it. Let's bring this together now. Okay. So, so just so everyone knows the name of the startup, right? The name of the startup. How do we pronounce it? Dioko, right?
Dioko. Yes.
Dioko. Dioko. Okay. And I want to dig in on a couple of things, right? And so we think about delivery and last mile delivery. Are you part of the last mile delivery kind of umbrella? Was that fair to say?
Yes, last mile delivery. So it's really the domestic business.
Yeah, so domestic business. And you talked about sustainability and you used something, you said same day delivery at next day prices.
Yes.
Is that correct? Right?
Correct.
All right. Now, that made sense to me, but I couldn't compute that in my head. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
I didn't understand that. So when we, that sounded to me like it made sense. I'm like, okay, it's cheaper. I just didn't know how much cheaper, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't, and I wanted to know, right? So yep. Sometimes with the elevator pitch, consider the investor just like grandma, you're pitching grandma, okay, right? And grandma would want to know, okay, how much cheaper is it in ringgit or dollars or percentage points, okay? How much faster is it, okay? The other thing that you mentioned, right? You talk about your methodology on how you're doing it. And I felt like you should spend a little bit more time on that.
Fair enough, yeah.
I wanted to know how you are doing this faster, cheaper, better. What is your algorithm? Do you know what I mean? A lot of people have claimed they can do this, right? And I needed you to tell me a little bit more. So tell me more about that, please. Tell me a little.
So most firms out there that want to enter this green and last mile delivery, they focus on the electrical vehicles. So they plan to replace their existing fleet with electrical vehicles. But in the end, it's not a financially sustainable way of doing it. So what we do is we use the public transport to do most of our transport. So we minimize the amount of time we spend on the road. And our technology platform takes care of all the scheduling. So how do we get those parcels on the train? Which stations do they need to leave at? And where do we need to take them off as close to the end consumer?
So let me just address that. You see, in my mind, when I think about public transport, I think the way you've described it to me, and again, just from my vantage point, means that you are putting boxes on trains and buses. But if I understand correctly, what you're doing is you're getting humans to walk. Is that correct? And they can walk point to point. They can walk and take a bus. They can walk and take a train, or they could do whatever they want, right? Is that correct?
Yeah. No,
right?
So what we do is we use the like a train or an MRT, for example, and we take the last coach of that train. So we dedicate it for parcels, and we have exclusive access to that last coach to fill it up with as many parcels as we can. And that's also how we get the economies of scale compared to many different trucks going back and forth. We can fill the train as much as we want, and there's a train every 10 minutes.
So what you're saying is so what you're doing is you've created like a hub and spoke type of model, right? Where the hub is the train, and you have delivery people that are delivering it to the train, and then you have people picking it up from the train at different stops and then delivering it, correct?
Yes, but that's the current ambition, but long term, we can even go to distributed networks so that anyone can go to any station and go back and forth. Yes.
But these are average, like it's a peer-to-peer platform like Uber, right? You have the people that are going to be paid to bring, right, the product to the train, and then you're going to, or it might be the person who wants it delivered, right? So the person who wants to get the delivery will bring it to the train, and then they will there'll be somebody waiting at different stops that it's going to make the final last mile delivery, correct? On foot.
If everybody had electrical vehicles, then that would be possible, because we're also looking at fast delivery. So if it's possible, somebody can pick it up a lock, or can pick it up walking. But we have our own fleet of electrical vehicles to actually provide the volume, because in the end we're looking at B2B customers, or indirectly B2B2C, but these are large volumes, so we need electrical vehicles to carry the large number of parcels.
And how good is your algorithm, right? One of the key successes about delivery is your algorithm. Is this like a solid algorithm for point-to-point delivery and management?
So right now we're in the pilot phase, so MVP, so it's a very basic algorithm. But what we're planning to do as we collect data is to create an adaptive algorithm that takes real-time data and adjusts accordingly. Because every stop along the way we can get out and transport through other ways, or connect through other train lines or MRT, so we can build on top of what we already have today.
So the thing, Onno, is this. I'll tell you on a side note, your success is actually a mathematical equation. Okay.
Absolutely.
So the idea of having somebody, a PhD that's mapped this out already, is going to save you a lot of headache. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Put that in, because that's part of what it is. If you think about it, at the end of the day, once your system is built, then you have to plug in the math, right? And the math and the data science around weather and delivery and timing and parcels. All of that comes, so you need to just get that done. I wouldn't build it internally. I would actually just outsource it, right? And find the guys that have done this, right? And we have, I'm happy to put you in touch with somebody that's actually done that. He's a PhD, and his PhD was on this, okay? He's invested 5 years of his life, and he's definitely way smarter than me. So, you should just have a word with him and see if we can make it.
Would love to meet him, definitely.
And so the thing is I'm thinking out loud. You're putting all these pieces together. You have all of the last mile. What you're using is the train is your hub, and because it's a train, it's kind of it's a hub that actually has typically a hub is just one location, but because this is kind of like a and I don't know how to describe it. We should come up with a word for this, but some sort of like, it's a moving hub. That's your competitive advantage, because this hub is basically the whole entire city, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Instead of looking at it from a warehousing perspective, what you're doing is you're saying my hub is the train, and the train goes everywhere, and it's prime real estate, correct?
Absolutely.
Right. So you have a dynamic hub, okay, right, for your hub and spoke model, correct? Right?
Absolutely.
That's what you win on, right? So you win on your algorithm, which you're going to get, and you have this dynamic hub that's going to allow you to, again, just like I asked Morak, be able to deliver at half the price, correct? Right?
Yes.
50% faster, 50% faster, 50% cheaper, right?
Who doesn't want that? And
right?
Green at the same time, indeed.
And green. And we love green, right? We love green. But the truth is, you know, everyone talks about green, and there's, you know, if it comes down to it, people will do green, okay? But they'll only do green when price is also considered, okay? Right?
Absolutely.
Especially in today's world. Like, when you do your customer development, we keep on asking, there's a couple of countries where it's like totally green is like the number one priority, but time and price also matters, right? You know, when you want to get that, you know, that widget, right? You want to get that video game delivered, and you want it on the same day. You kind of don't mind sometimes if, you know, and I'm just thinking about my kids right now, right? So, but that's kind of what I would do. So you have this dynamic hub, right? Dynamic hub, right? That allows you to do this, because instead of looking at the typical warehousing location, you've created this model, and you have also a relationship with the government, right? With the transport authority, correct?
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
How much money are you looking to raise?
Right now, it's $250,000 for the pilot itself, but effectively, it's a bridge to the institutional investment round that we're going to follow quite quickly with.
All right. And what is that money going to do? Oh no! Like, if you want money, what are you going to do with the money?
So it's basically, it's our pilot, so it's setting up our operations, and it's effectively showcasing the public transport concept.
Yeah,
and providing proof.
Where is it again? Where is it?
Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I got the right city. Okay. All right. What we're going to do, I think that's pretty much it. Now, Onno, would you like me to pitch your idea back to you? Would you like?
I would love to hear it, of course.
And you get to be whoever you want today, Onno. So you can be any rich, you know what I mean? You could be any rich investor that you want to be. You could be Donald Trump today if you really want to. You could be, you know. So who are you going to be? Who are you going to be? I just need to know who I'm talking to.
So hello, I'm Onno Pfeiffer. I just won the lottery, and I want to invest in the big new thing.
Lottery. Yeah. So just before we start, lottery people are the best to raise money from, but they might not be the smartest investor. Oh no. So, but let's start. Okay. Well, let's start. I'm hitting the top. You can introduce yourself. I'll do it for a lottery winner. Happy to do that. That's easy. Go ahead.
Hello, I'm Onno Pfeiffer. I want to invest into the next big thing.
All right.
Do you have anything to think of?
Great. My name is Ash Singh. I'm part of the Olco team. As you might know, delivery is a big issue today. When you think about what Amazon is doing and all of these current delivery systems, they've all worked on the same model that hasn't changed over the last 100 years. They have a hub and spoke model where they'll have a warehouse and tons of people picking stuff up and dropping stuff around the city. Now, what we've done is we've rethought this. Instead of having a warehouse as a building, what if we had a dynamic warehouse, which is actually the train that goes through the city every day, you know, prime real estate. So we've created a platform to be able to allow last point delivery using the train as a dynamic hub that allows us to deliver 50% faster and 50% cheaper to truly disrupt the industry and allow us to do this a lot cleaner, right? So we think about climate change, we're able to do that. We're looking to take this model and launch it in Kuala Lumpur, okay? And we have all the right pieces. We need $250,000 to complete our pilot and see if we can drastically change the world of last mile delivery. I'd love to have a coffee with you to talk more about this.
I would love it too. Looking forward to that. Yeah.
Okay. Onno, awesome. Do you see what I did? Do you see what I did with that?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. it's about the model on the delivery. The climate is important, but I brought it in at the end. You see how I did that?
Okay. Yep.
I appreciate what you're doing, but the investor wants to know about same thing for, and what is this dynamic hub? And you're probably wondering as an investor, how the hell is this guy getting this warehouse on a trade? Okay, I need to talk to this guy. Okay, you know what I mean? Even if he's lying, I gotta figure out what the hell this guy's doing. Okay, this guy's what, you know what I mean? And that was one of the tactics I used to use when I used to talk to investors. One of the good things about just being a minority that looks, you know what I mean? I look a little bit different, but when I was talking, I would give them something so crazy to think about, that you would see them nod. You look in their eyes and they're like, oh, the hell? Really? Okay, let me just meet this dude, right? Let me just, I'll have a coffee with this guy. You know what I mean? I'll entertain myself. And then you lock them in, right? Yep. What I didn't talk about, Onno, because I was running low on time. I tried to do it in a minute, by the way. Okay. I didn't want to go over time.
I saw it, yeah.
Because your time is valuable. But what I wanted to do was talk about the algorithm. I didn't weave that in. Okay. I would have said something around the lines of, we also have a PhD that's done mathematics on his PhD thesis on algorithmic focused short mile delivery. And that plus the dynamic hub. Okay. Ooh, secret sauce, right? I want to tell you more. Okay. And so that's how I would structure it, Onno, right? Just to kind of
makes sense, yeah.
And I'll put you in touch with that PhD gentleman, okay?
That would be fantastic, definitely.
Right? Really smart guy, right? And happy to put you in touch and see if they can add some value to what you're doing.
All right, much appreciated.
Onno, great to see you again. And
likewise.
Congratulations. Hopefully we added some value to you today during the session.
Well, definitely good food for thought, so much appreciated.
Thanks, Onno. Have a wonderful day. Be safe.
Thank you.